5 SaaS ideas you can build as a solo founder. Now, SaaS products can range in size from really large enterprise-based SaaS products to really small micro software as a service products. In this video, we'll be focusing on the latter, on products that can be built by a solo founder. So let's dive right into the ideas. This idea is going to address the fact that communities have become much harder to run and organize. Many creators at one point dove into the Facebook groups platform, and they were able to build really big communities of it. However, many creators have shied away from using this as it's so hard to get reach on that platform as you're competing with everything else on Facebook unless that person specifically goes to that group. Additionally, I've seen a lot of creators use Slack, but that's more of a real-time messaging system and it really requires you to be on Slack at the time to start communicating with other members. So there's been quite a few different community platforms that have come out and have gained popularity, such as School, which has tons of features built in, and a lot of them really focus on that online course segment where the founder or course creator can upload their videos along with having a community as part of their value add. However, quite a few of these platforms include quite a bit of features on top, and what I would really like to see is something that takes the concept of Reddit with threads that make it really easy to comment on posts, see popular posts without having to do it in real time, so it's all asynchronous, but being able to have a private community there with more of a thread style communication. It makes it easy for people to ask questions, and people don't have to be active all the time. Whereas if you're using a tool like Slack, it's all real time and it's hard to find old existing questions, and that thread might be dead at that point as it's a few days, few weeks, or even months or years old. This next SaaS idea is going to combine AI, which is something I know that's all the trend right now, with a really popular existing product. And that one's going to be QuickBooks, and is using their API to extract data from QuickBooks and then using AI to go and analyze that data to discover patterns and trends that would be hard to understand normally. Now, in terms of the target market for this, I think there are multiple ways in which you could approach this. You could do a direct-to-consumer where you're targeting QuickBooks users, but with this approach, you would probably need quite a few users, as I don't think you could charge them as much here. Whereas alternatively, you could target businesses or accounting firms that are offering their accounting services to customers. And the way you can position yourself here is as a value add to these businesses. This SaaS product can make it super easy for these accounting firms to already use the data they're ingesting already to do their accounting, and it's going to give them further insights on trends and patterns so they can go to their existing clients to say, hey, we did this for you, but we think you should be doing X, Y, and Z as well based on our artificial intelligence analysis. That's going to save them from having to build it themselves, which many of them probably wouldn't be able to, even if they wanted to, without spending quite a bit of money on developers. For this target customer, it'd also be a win-win scenario. You could help these accounting firms charge more to their existing clients for this value-add service, and that should be greater than what it's costing them or what they're paying your SaaS product. And so both of you will be making additional revenue there. With this approach as well, you could probably do cold emailing or cold calling, and you wouldn't need as many accounting firms as you would just regular QuickBooks users, as you could charge them more for this type of service. QuickBooks is also just an example here. You could use any type of data really. You could export it from an API or extract it there. You could also take in Excel data and digest it and provide analysis on top of that. This next idea is going to be similar. Rather than using AI to analyze accounting data, you could do it for psychologists. Psychologists take quite a few notes on their patients so they can understand how the patient has done over time. What your SaaS product could do is aggregate all the data from these notes and provide, again, trends and patterns to really understand how the patient is doing over time. This is something that would take a person quite a bit of time to do, and if you were doing it across quite a few patients, this would be a very time-consuming task. But again, rather than targeting a consumer, you'd be targeting what is essentially a business here, or a psychologist or a psychologist's office. The fourth idea here is going to be a tool that's going to summarize my existing emails or email newsletters specifically, and I think it could do really well as a Chrome extension. Focusing on email newsletters specifically, I get quite a few email newsletters that I always want to read as they contain some really useful information. It takes time to go and actually digest it, so a lot of the times I'll just forward it to an inbox where I can read it later. It'd be great if I could just get a daily summary of all my newsletters containing cool insights or useful information that I can get in just a few sentences. It's going to ignore all the stuff such as different calls to action and maybe even skipping the intro to get me the core ideas of that newsletter quickly. I think a possible implementation could be a Google Chrome extension and set it up to work on Gmail, which is one of the most popular email providers. This last SaaS idea is going to target other developers, and it's going to be a low-code integration platform. So if you're building any product, there are tons of different integrations, such as maybe Stripe or Google Analytics, you're going to want to set up for your product. However, you have to go and get the documentation, read on how to implement it, figure out the implementation, and that can be a time-consuming process. So this SaaS product could be an integrations platform where you've pre-built quite a few different integrations, you're keeping up with the API documentation, and you're making sure it's updated correctly. And it's an easy plug and play for developers. And there are tons of different integrations out there. You can even focus on something such as Meta's API or Google's API and find the top use cases here and build those integrations. If you've gotten this far in the video, I'm sure you want to build your very own micro SaaS, but first you're going to need an idea. And that's where I have you covered with 3 micro SaaS ideas you can steal for free. There's a link in the description below. All you have to do is enter in your email. I also have a complete course on how to build your very own micro SaaS, even if you don't have any SaaS experience. It's a step-by-step academy that's going to show you how to build, scale, and profit from your very own micro SaaS. There's also a link for this in the description below, so make sure you check that out. So this is going to conclude the video here on 5 SaaS ideas you can build as a solo founder. Let me know in the comments if you're planning to start any of these ideas. And if you enjoyed this video, I would love it so much if you smash that like and subscribe button below. If you have any questions, leave a comment. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.